for Mary Saint. And now this is sort of halfway through the book. We're kind of meeting Mary for the first time, and she's in her her place in San Francisco. And I'm nervous because you guys really live here, and I imagined. So the mist blew in from the Pacific, crept across Golden Gate Park, and had already begun to erase the panhandle when Mary Saint woke to the sound of beads knocking against the bay windows in her bedroom. She peeked through the curtains, and though it was still dark, she could see that the old eucalyptus trees, with their weeping leaves, threatened to disappear into the fog. It was early, but Mary had the sinking feeling that she was up for the day. She reached behind her to feel for the softness of her dog's foot. Two Toes, a brown rescue named for a birth defect on her front paw, lay across the sheets, sprawled like a pin-up girl on a calendar page, leaving Mary to lie pencil-like on a sliver of the bed. After staring at the ceiling for a good long while, Mary rose and reached for the nearest sweatshirt, as it had gotten chilly through the night. Her new roommate, Thaddeus, snored lightly on the mattress in the living room, all 6 feet of him curled under his green blanket that was ripped in places and riddled with holes. Mary tiptoed past him into the kitchen, filled the tea kettle and set it down on the stove, then put a cup out on the table. On Oak Street, a lone car passed, its headlights beaming in the haze. No one was out walking yet, and the panhandle loomed eerily across the way. It would be an hour or so before the old women gathered in the park for their morning practice of Tai Chi, or even longer until Thaddeus would rise with his good morning songs and a recap of his dreams. Yesterday he'd dreamed that he'd been chopped up into little squares and put into a plastic ice cube tray. "That's not funny," Mary had said. I know, he had replied. Mary fixed herself a cup of lingonberry tea and sat at the kitchen table, fingering the ceramic salt and pepper shakers. One was a white dog, and the other was a black dog. Everything was a dog. She'd replaced all things music with all things dog, but familiar melodies still caught her by surprise from time to time. The concert in her old hometown, scheduled for June, now hung over her like a sky full of knives. Why didn't someone, Thaddeus, anyone, tell her she was crazy to take the gig? Maybe she could cancel. For the past few weeks, she'd had the old performing nightmares. Almost every night she'd wake up in a sweat, seeing herself naked on the stage, or peeing on the stage, or forgetting all the words, the audience rising up against her while her mother looked on from the wings. Unlike Thaddeus, she didn't want to talk about her dreams. They made her feel ashamed. Old memories haunted her, ricocheting around her mind uncontrollably like bullets from a cartoon brawl. Life on that thing called the road, moments of incredible freedom, laughter, possibilities, as if a person could fly. These feelings were sewn into the agony of great humiliation, failures so extreme, so public, rave reviews and vicious dismissals. Revolting, bone-chillingly cold dressing rooms, stained toilet bowls and sticky floors, dented aluminum ashtrays, lines of Coke on brown napkins, cigarettes and joints, platters of curled up pieces of roast beef and wilted American cheese, head cheese, whatever the hell it was, pre-cut carrot sticks and celery in supermarket bags, whiskey and bottles of tequila with worms at the bottom that were supposed to be swallowed. Posters of bands, mostly guys in leather pants, their crotches bulging, hairy arms inked with tattoos of girls and dragons, photographs of herself posing with electric guitars, legs spread wide, in ridiculous outfits that she thought she ought to wear, ripped stockings, garter belts, and makeup like war paint, attitudes, her own and everybody else's. Songs that she wrote from the heart and what they actually turned out to be. Who people said she was and who she really was. Who she thought she was and who she turned out to be. Thousands of people cheering for it. The noise of the crowds yelling, "We love you, Mary Saint! Garbaggio rules! Sliced ham, sliced ham! Feet, knuckles, you're a pig!" It had been a long tilt-a-whirl ride. The predictable cliches, hotel lobbies, airport bars, and the exquisite uniqueness of those very same places. Everywhere a carnival, the ghoulishness of it all, costumes, buffoons, the down-and-out drug-laden, liquor-soaked good old times, the goofiness, the innocence, mistakes, cruelties, lies, beauty, the mixture of fakery and truth, sadness and laughs. Mary Saint, for sale, one night only. The things that people used to say about her to her, the things that she had said, shooting her mouth off about this and that, hurting herself and others, being cheered on like a pit bull in a ring. All of this led up to the death of Anthony, the event that had cut her life in half and ended his. This was what she remembered of herself. She'd wrestled with her lover until he fell to his death off the balcony of a hotel room. Why? Because in the end, someone in a newspaper had said that she was fat and stupid. So she'd lost herself along the way, and this jumble of wreckage was all she had to go on.